Alright, everyone, welcome back. So, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Kings. The LA Kings have lost 8 straight games. And I made a video, excuse me, about a month ago on the Los Angeles Kings saying that they are surging. Well, now there's been some talks about them maybe peaking too early. That's what I've seen now in conversations when it comes to the Los Angeles Kings. There were a lot of factors with this team that I did mention in my video. But they weren't that big of concerns because the team was playing well. However, now that the team is struggling a little bit, some of those concerns are really showing. So let's talk about this here. So on December 27th, the last time they won a game, they were 27-4 for 44 points and 6th in the NHL overall. Now it's January 14th. It's about, I'd say, 4 weeks later almost. They are 20-11-8 for 48 points, and they are 14th in the NHL. So they dropped almost 10 spots. And the cushion that they had from them and those other Pacific and wildcard teams is now only 1 point. As I mentioned, Kings are third in the Pacific with 48 points. The Oilers are fourth with 47 points. And I will be talking about them tomorrow. They are on a 10-game winning streak. They are doing amazing. But I wanted to talk about the Kings first, mainly because they play tomorrow. But LA, that is concerning. They had a huge gap over the fourth place team at one point in the season. They had like a almost 15-point gap. It was a really large gap between them and the other teams. Now it's only one. And it's not just Edmonton, too. Seattle as well is fifth with 47, too. So if, let's just say, LA loses their next 2 games, and Seattle and Edmonton continue their hot streaks, and they win, we could see LA out of a playoff spot by the end of next week. Yeah. And if you told people that at this point last month, they would have laughed at you. I would have laughed at you. Because at this point last year, they were one of the best, or not last year, last month, they were one of the best teams in the NHL. And at this point now, it just seems like they may have even peaked a little bit too early. And it's not just Seattle and Edmonton they got to worry about. You got Calgary, too, only 3 points behind you. You have Nashville, Seattle, and St. Louis, and Arizona are also in that wild card race. So when you get to the point where you fall down to the wild cards, which they're 1 point behind doing, you got to worry about not just teams in your division, but teams in the conference. So just overall, like LA, they need to turn it around, and they need to turn it around like right now. Literally their next game. They need to start turning things around, or else they could find themselves out of the playoffs or a wild card team. And low-key, I'm kind of getting Winnipeg Jets vibes from last year now. I kind of am with this team. Now, the offense hasn't been terrible. And I am going to say this. It's not that they've lost 8 straight, it's the way they've lost 8 straight, too. They're also blowing multiple third-period 2-goal leads. They'll go up 2-0 and lose. And it's not just that, too. Like, they're not getting blown out every game. They're losing by 1 goal. So they can't seem to find that clutch player or that clutch moment or that lucky moment where they tie up a game and try and win it. They can't seem to hold a lead. They're always losing by 1 or more goals. They stink in overtime. They're not great in the shootout right now. Just everything seems bad with the LA Kings. Now, Kopitar leads the team so far with 39 games played, 14 goals, 25 assists for 39 points. It seems like Kopitar's cooled down a little bit. But definitely still a really solid player. Just the other offense from other players hasn't been there either. Kempe, 39 games played, 15 goals, 22 assists, 37 points. Same with Kevin Fiala, 39 games played, 10 goals, 27 assists, 37 points. I need to see some more goals out of those guys. I feel like at the halfway point last year, they had more points than they do now. Just it seems like just everyone seems to be really struggling right now in LA. It's not just the top guys. It's a lot of other players too. Now, Quinton Byfield, and here's what I don't understand about Todd McLellan. Byfield goes in last night. I believe he scored and played well, but McLellan only plays him 12 minutes. Less than 12 minutes. I don't understand that, in my opinion. Byfield, 39 games played, 12 goals, 18 assists, 30 points. This has been a much better year for Quinton Byfield, 100%. When you look at like overall just numbers for Byfield, he's gotten a lot better this year, and I said that in my Kings video last month. Then you have Trevor Moore, 39 games played, 18 goals, 11 assists, 29 points. He's not playing terrible, but the main concern I have is Pierre-Luc Dubois. I know, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I know it's been brought up numerous times overall throughout so many Kings-related videos. I even brought it up in my video last month. Just Dubois, 17 points in 39 games played. Now, again, as I said in that video, that number isn't as bad when the team's playing well. When the team is playing bad, that stat line is not good. And especially for what they gave up for Dubois, a player who always vocally said he wants to be somewhere else other than the place he was in Winnipeg. They make that trade. They send over Iafallo, Kupari, and Vilardi, very young, notable players, over to the Jets in exchange for Dubois. And Dubois struggling like this, and Vilardi, Kupari, and Iafallo are playing very well. Now, I know Kupari hasn't been all that, and, you know, Vilardi's been through some injuries, but still, for what they gave up, it's just not a good return for what they're getting in Dubois, and we need to see that improve in the second half of the season. Now, a person that hasn't been of concern, and what a lot of people thought was going to be the concern, including myself, I said it in videos too, Cam Talbot. 14, 10, and 5, a 2.34 goals against average, and a .918 save percentage. There hasn't been a bad game from Talbot. If it weren't for Talbot and I believe David Rittich, surprisingly, it's like the two most unexpected goalies that are playing well right now. If it weren't for Talbot and Rittich, they'd be losing a lot worse in these 8-game losing streaks. Yeah, I believe there's only 2 of those games. One last night against Detroit, and then one I think was a shutout loss against Toronto. I don't think they've lost by more than 1 goal besides those 2 games of this 8-game losing streak. So a lot of credit there goes to Talbot and Rittich for keeping these games really close. I don't think that the problem whatsoever lies on them. I think it lies within just this overall roster right now. 100%. Now, again, I want to go back to McLellan because I think I brought up, or at least I brought up a little bit in a video, that if the Kings don't make it past the first round, McLellan may get fired. Now, could we see that happen before this? I think I'm leaning towards no, but it is something that you do got to keep in mind because McLellan's been criticized a lot for, you know, lineup changes in the past by Kings fans. I've seen plenty of it. I have friends who are Kings fans. And now it seems like a lot of those changes are really starting to get to him. Again, as I said, Byfield and Dubois played 12 minutes. Dubois maybe deserves that because he hasn't been earning his ice time. But Byfield, like last night, he scored and played pretty well. But just now, it just seems like, you know, maybe this could be McLellan. Maybe Rod Blake looks at McLellan and is like, well, we've lost multiple times. We're on an 8-game losing streak. Or he's going to trust the fact that McLellan's the coach and he's going to trust that he gets him through this. I think that may be what he leans towards, but he's definitely thinking about it. I would absolutely think about it. So it all comes down to January. Because, yeah, they had such a big cushion, but now they don't. They really don't. And again, in a conference, in a wild card race that is so close, you don't want to start losing games the way they are. You don't. They need to start winning again. And their schedule, even though there are some easy matchups in here, it's not looking too good. They play Carolina, a red hot team right now, doing very well. I will make a video on Carolina soon. They play Dallas then. Dallas, a very solid Western Conference team. They play Nashville. Nashville, a team they're battling for. They're in that wild card race. They play the Rangers. The Rangers, yeah, they've been struggling, but they're still one of the best teams in the NHL. Then they play San Jose, so an easy game in there. Buffalo, too. Then they go to Colorado. Colorado, one of the better teams in the Western Conference. St. Louis. St. Louis is battling in that wild card race. They're going to be hungry. And then they play Nashville again. So, like, they need to start winning again. They need to start winning games again. Or else, if they fall too far behind the Oilers, then it's going to be hard to come back from that, especially against an Oilers team that is very solid. And we could see like LA in a wild card spot to end off the season with the way they're playing right now. I know it's January. I know we have the whole month of February and the whole month of March and April, obviously. But still, you don't want to fall too far behind, especially when the race for the wild cards are so close. Now, the other question, and the thing that I'll wrap up with here is, did the Kings peak too early, or is this just a losing streak? I have mentioned before in multiple teams losing streak videos, I said it in power rankings, I said it in videos, that it's an 82-game season. Teams will go through rough stretches. The Bruins are a big example of that. Even the Oilers are a big example of that too. The Kraken, same thing. The Red Wings, same thing. It's an 82-game season. You will go through a bad stretch eventually. Is that what LA is going through? Maybe, but there are some concerns that I do have that need to be fixed. But I do think they will pull themselves out of this. No doubt in my mind. But if only they had this guy. If only they had him to come back. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on the Kings in the comments down below. My last Kings video did very well. If you guys watched that video and you're a returning subscriber from that video, welcome. Sorry, I'm talking about your Kings this way. Hope you like the jersey, by the way. Brand new jersey that I got this Christmas. But anywho, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.